Welcome to MSU Soccer Park in Montclair, New Jersey. Jack Edwards here with you as New York Red Bulls 2 face off with Toronto FC 2. The playoff picture becoming very clear for both of these sides. Points are needed for both of them. Elimination scenarios on the table entering the day, depending on what happens elsewhere. But still a chance for both teams in the final 3 games of 2024 to really blow open the playoff picture in the East wide open. A big chance now in the 3rd meeting of the season between these two teams, both sides with a win apiece in the head-to-head matchups entering into the game today. It's been 2 differing sets of form. New York Red Bulls 2 falling to defeat in their last 4, and the last 4 for Toronto. They've gotten points in all 4, including 2 victories as they're surging up in the standings late on in the season. The standings now in the Eastern Conference as we look at what is important here. The bottom 3 sides have been eliminated, but Toronto and New York above that line, but they currently sit 7 points behind Chicago, who occupy that 8th place spot. For New York Red Bulls 2, a defeat condemns them to elimination. Toronto defeat means that what happens elsewhere could potentially spell elimination for them as well. So both teams really want 3 points. A draw today doesn't really help either side. And those are the standings in the Eastern Conference entering the day. Lineups now for the 2 teams. First off for the New York Red Bulls 2, coming off a 2-1 defeat and a massive head-to-head match at Chicago last time out. Ibrahim Sakaya makes 2 changes to that side. Yair Kolowaso and Dylan Sullivan make way. And it's part of the team that has a lot of identity, the 4-4-2 shape. They know how they want to play, and week in, week out, very similar in their approach to these matches for Red Bulls 2. On the flip side for Toronto FC 2, mentioned the good run of form, a 3-0 win against NYCFC 2 last time out, trying to make it back-to-back wins against New York opponents. They make 3 changes, Gianni Chimini does. From the side that won 3-0, they actually had a match in the midweek last week at NYCFC 2 as well, so back-to-back games against New York City FC, getting a shootout win and a win outright as well. 5 points from those New York opponents. They face off for the 3rd time again against the Red components, Red Bulls 2, the Baby Bulls, the home side here today. They'll be heading from left to right across your screen. The hosts will. In the white kits will be Toronto FC 2 heading from right to left. Emi Nonso Anyakwo is our head official for the match today. We have our first whistle getting us underway. Our Toronto FC 2 early challenge. Copeland Berkeley climbing highest. Appearance number 14 on the season. 11th start for the right back. Teams that on paper line up in very similar shapes. We'll see what Toronto's ends up breaking out into. They have comfort in playing with a back three at times. Rolled out in a 3-4-3 in that match against NYCFC 2. Part of a third match in 8 days. Johnny Cimini saying after that one just how proud he was of the group to get a clean sheet against a really good attacking side in NYCFC 2, and to respond from the match a few days prior where they played the same opponents, got a shootout win, followed it up, and were able to have a convincing 3-0 win. Stokes plays it out. It's a heavy touch, and it's a cheap giveaway from Red Bulls 2. Allows Toronto throwing high in the attacking third. There are a lot of scenarios for Toronto where if they fall to defeat, they could potentially be eliminated. Even a shootout win, getting the 2 points, might see them eliminated if results elsewhere don't go in their favor. Both teams know that they have to probably win all 3 of their remaining games in order to get themselves into the playoff picture. But on a Toronto front, their games are head-to-head against a lot of the sides around them. Of course, right now playing against Red Bulls 2 could eliminate them should they win on the road in the match today. They'll play Chattanooga at home and then at Crown Legacy to round out the season, and those are 2 sides who are either in the playoff spots in the Eastern Conference or just outside it in that little push into the final areas. Fired forward. He finds Valencia. Valencia fouled. It's a free kick for Red Bulls 2. Berkeley made it forward. Sule moving it back. On Gutierrez. Ever-present center back, the Colombian. 22 appearances now in Next Pro this season. 3 goals and an assist. Getting involved a little bit in the attacking sense for this Red Bulls 2 side. Very good attacking units. Tied for 3rd in goals scored in the Eastern Conference, 50 of them. Defensively, little leaky at the back, I should say. 3rd most conceded in the league at 59. They've played their part in some high-scoring thrillers. That includes the last meeting between these sides. It was a Toronto win, 4-3 at home for TFC 2 back on July 28th. Teams, if they need to, can get into shootouts and feel comfortable coming away with it. Something that Johnny Cimini has talked about, the growth of his group is just the defensive effort and focus. And just the development of that particular department across the course of the season. They'll have a tough task at hand with another high-scoring opponent in Red Bulls 2. Here they are in the attacking third. Slid back there. Rafael Mosquera coming off a goal last time out against Chicago Fire 2. O'Connor. Great drop of the shoulder by Omar Valencia and some space to move into. Low delivery. Asked a question. It forced a pretty good challenge from Adam Perlman, who gets a foot in there to put it out. For a corner kick, rather. And it's a chance for Mosquera to take the first set piece of our match this afternoon. A lot of Next Pro taking place on this Sunday. Matches tomorrow on Monday and Tuesday as well. Loading up these final few weeks of the season with Next Pro action. As Mosquera prepares for the outswinging corner. Sits up in the box. Maybe a chance for a shot. Takes a deflection, and it's Saving the goal line, Abraham Rodriguez gets there. Tame in the end for the 17-year-old. Second look at this one, just a hit and hope. Good footwork. It's low. Sees out the challenge. By pressing, just a part of the Red Bulls 2 ethos. Over the top. It's a foot race here, and O'Connor is going to see that one out. Throw in for his side deep in the attacking half. Talk about the threats that Toronto possess. They'll be without the services of Julian Altobelli. Hurts to not have your leading scorer with 10 goals, but he scored a goal in 7 consecutive matches. He was just in absolutely electric form, making the trip up to Montclair for the match this afternoon. So one less threat for the Red Bulls to have to deal with. Sanayari with 6 goals himself. Marcus Fisher, as well as Jesus Batiz, the higher scoring players that will offer their services in place of their leading goal scorer, Altobelli. Lifted forward, clever bit of build-up, but a really strong challenge. Referee waves away a foul. Marcus Fisher felt that he was impeded upon. Fisher is still down, slowly back to his feet. Here's Gutierrez now. Flips it forward. Kasule, Sofo as well, the target. Sofo gets a chest to it and keeps that one in play. Brilliantly done. Chops it back. Kasule wanted that one played quicker centrally. They'll slide it instead for Jarvis. Move to the far side. Valencia. Another bit of good delivery. It'll come to the back post. Drag back across. It sits up and it finds the back of the net. Tanner Rossborough. A calm right-footed finish. The first major chance for either side. And it finds the back of the net for the hosts. Omar Valencia with some really good service early on in our match. It comes free to Berkeley, and then it just squirms into the box. Nothing that Abe Rodriguez can do about that one. Just caught flat-footed as he puts that one into the back of the net. It's 1-0.
Red Bulls 2 goal!
An ideal start for a Red Bulls side that are potentially hurting in confidence. 4 successive defeats, their last win coming on August 4th against Chicago Fire. It's been 5 matches without a win, and they haven't kept a clean sheet. Not hoping for any commentator's curse situation here, but haven't kept a clean sheet since April 10th. A win over NYCFC 2. Talk about the goals they've conceded. Just haven't been able to have a shutout effort in quite some time. Here's Jarvis now. Rolls it across. Mehmedi. Again, Valencia. Was he fouled? There he was. The referee took a second to think about it, and Marcus Fisher hoped he had gotten away with it. It seemed like a left arm may have been raised a bit against Omar Valencia. And in the end, the referee agreeing that enough was in that one for a free kick. So Iñakwo will have a quick word with Fisher, and he's, I think, gesturing with his arm what he doesn't want to see anymore. Good refereeing there. No yellow cards so early in the match, and sets a precedent for what he doesn't want to see in the remaining 80-plus minutes of our contest.
Mucho más, Juan. Juan, mucho más. Ábrete más. Go, get high. Go, high. Watch.
Mohamed Sofo. Delivery. Can't find anyone in red. That pass puts Toronto under a bit of pressure. Gutierrez called off his teammate for it. Passing between him and Berkeley. It's back now to Stokes. Play here, a bit of attention for a Red Bulls 2 player. Omar Valencia down. Early issue. Major blow for New York if there's anything that is going to limit Valencia or any of their players in the early stages of the match. On the Toronto front, Gianni Cimini mentioned that at this point of the year there's small issues for a lot of players, just trying to help everybody manage these moments of the season. Mentioned it being the third meeting of the season between these two teams, all time in Next Pro. 2 wins apiece in 4 overall meetings. There was a 2-1 win for New York Red Bulls 2 back when they met on June 9th. That took place here at MSU Soccer Park. Mentioned that earlier, 4-3 win at home for Toronto when they met back at York Lions Stadium in July. So let's get back to his feet. He will have to come off in a moment after getting some treatment on the field. They'll hope that their ever-present Panamanian left back can continue his role. He wouldn't get an assist, but his really good ball into the box was instrumental in Tanner Rossborough's goal. That is the opening strike for the match this afternoon. Out of 10 for a moment, the Red Bulls will be. So referee signals for play to resume. It's actually a great turn. Kasule, strong challenge, forces that one back. Scara bravely gets a foot in there first. And Sofo darts ahead of any Toronto defenders to get onto it. Here's Mohamed Sofo. Great footwork. Gets past one. Stays with it, trying to get past 2 more. He does. The low shot just finds the side netting. Mohamed Sofo. The kind of skill he has in his locker. 4 goals, 6 assists on the season, and it's moments like this that really show what an electrifying player he can be. Takes a lot of skill to keep the ball that close to you, work your way through the crowd as he did. The tight angle to test Rodriguez at, but not a bad effort at all from the Ghanaian. Zimmerman Cheech moves it out wide.
Step forward, big step in.
Referee was playing advantage. It's going to be a free kick now. In the end, O'Connor did enough defensively to get a challenge in. Valencia will make way. Early sub as Curtis Ofori will come into the match for Omar Valencia. Really tough sign to see there.
Fans, your attention, please. New York Red Bulls
issue within the first 10 minutes of the match.
15th minute, exiting the match, number 42, Omar
17th appearance now for Ofori.
Entering the match, number 24, Curtis Ofori. Substitution made in the 15th minute.
Immediately he'll have to get into that defensive line for the Red Bulls. 6 in white inside the 18-yard box. It's clipped in towards the back post, headed away. Still there at the top of the box. Challenge put in, but it's turned right back over to Toronto, and Gutierrez can push it away, but again, can't fully deal with the danger. In that instance, it finally goes out of play. It's a throw-in with Toronto. This portion of the match is brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. As we cross past 16 minutes of our match this afternoon. Early goal, Tanner Rossborough dispatching a really solid opportunity just to see himself positioned where he was in the box really efficiently. Zimmerman-Cheech, is it? There's Fisher now. Zimmerman-Cheech takes a deflection, but it finds a teammate in the box. Berkeley can only kick it up, and before he can put a foot through it to clear it upfield. Good work from Rodriguez to come off his line and show composure under the pressure from Tanner Rossborough. Cleared away by Gutierrez. Italo. The first time pass there was Mehmeti, but only goes back to the goalkeeper for TFC 2. The result elsewhere is gone final. Carolina Core. It is a interesting battle for them against Columbus Crew 2. On the road, the Core come away with the 3 points, a 2-0 win. 2 goals in the first half. Columbus went down a man. We're able to see out the result, and it means that Carolina goes to 40 points now, and it means that there's now another side that have broken the 40-point threshold to try and get into that final playoff spot. Chicago still holds it in 8th with 41 points, but Columbus now joins several sides on 42 points, which may not be something for Red Bulls 2 or Toronto to be able to surpass unless they got no points and 1 out in the case of Red Bulls 2. But a big opportunity to make it a really interesting race to the final weekend in those playoff spots. Sofo. It's forced out wide, and it's good defensive covering from Perlman to sprint across, get there. That's Perlman. Just to underscore the absurdity of the Eastern Conference, New York Red Bulls 2 leapfrog into 11th place if they come out of this match with 3 points. They're on 36 points. With the same amount of games played, they are just 7 points off 3rd place Orlando City. Sit on 43. So between 3rd place and 11th place, it's separated by just 7 points. Margin's going to be very fine. Cincinnati, the lone side that has clinched their spot in the Eastern Conference. Philadelphia, you'd say a mere lock at 46 points, but beyond there, could be in for a crazy finish. 2024. Confident header, pushes it upfield, and Berkeley can go back to Stokes. Stokes, 16 years of age, making now his 17th appearance in the Next Pro season so far. Made his debut in the U.S. Open Cup back earlier this season. In the first debutant in the Open Cup since Tyler Adams from New York Red Bulls 2. That came all the way back in 2015 for the, almost say, legendary American midfielder. A lot of trust in the youngster from New Jersey. Trying to take that one on the turn. It's a bit of a heavy touch, and it's going to end roll for Baptiste. Drags it back across. Offside flag went up. It's a free kick for New York Red Bulls 2, but Jesus Baptiste being deployed in a more central position, trying to link up with Dumitru.
Guys, make sure their defenders don't get it. Win the first one. The first one up. Win the first one. Second one. Yeah. Come on, Busquera. Let it bounce.
Rossborough lets it run. Perlman. Some strength and size to just see off that angle. There's a lot of play. It's going to be a free kick now.
A little bit wider. Hey, can you get him a little bit wider? Good. Good. Hey, good. Seguí ahí cuando juega el arquero.
Out there, Kasule. Good work in the midfield from Stanuland. Turned over. Sofo. A few options with him. His touch a little heavy though. He'll be frustrated with that. Here's Baptiste. Up against Berkeley. Defender gets a toe in there, pokes it away, and Baptiste is happy to see that out for a corner kick, and a chance now for Toronto to get some numbers forward. A few set piece chances they've had in the first half of our match this afternoon.
Andre, we need a run from you. Let's go.
Fired into the back post, and Stokes able to catch that one, claim it. This portion of the match is brought to you by your Tri-State Audi dealers, just past the halfway point of our first 45 minutes. Again, Tanner Rossborough, the lone goal of our match to this point. Number 6 on 2024 for the 16-year-old from Pittsburgh. Again, Red Bulls on the attack, and it's Rossborough dancing away from one opponent. Now Jarvis. Berkeley.
Hey, inside. Okay, set. Let's go. Get the center back. Center back, forward. Aiden, you're right. Yeah, no problem there. Aiden, there. Good high.
Just opening their center backs, but they're not dropping their six.
Good corner. Now we drop back.
Come on, 2v1 here, 2v1 here. Hey.
Italo.
Now they're dropping.
Yep.
Kicked on first time, referee thinking about playing advantage. It goes out of play, and referee will in the end pull it back for a free kick. Jesus Baptiste took a big fall in the process of that. Curtis Ofori again did come on for Omar Valencia, so the big moments of our match up to this point have been the goal from Rossborough and the injury for Valencia. So a bittersweet start for Red Bulls 2. I hope that nothing serious for the 20-year-old Valencia. A bit of footwork on the far side from Toronto. Forced to play to the back line. Perlman to Italo. Great ball between the lines. Moved out far side. Charlie Stanley is offering himself as an option. And he goes out for a throw, and the Englishman take it. Baptiste darts past an opponent. He's fouled. It's a free kick right on the top of the 18-yard box. It's really close, and it's a challenging free kick to execute, but it's maybe the best chance Toronto have had in our match up to this point. Sanayari has put it down with some real purpose. Jesus Baptiste will also toss his name in the ring.
Hey! Marco, can we crush? Second ball! La segunda, Italo! Hey up! Fish, get together!
Ayari with the right foot just over the wall, and it goes wide for a goal kick. Ayari trying to add to his 6 goals he's scored so far this season.
Keep playing with him. Don't instruct him. Win the second. Win it. Jump fast, foul. Second. Win it. Out of Stella. Let's go. One. Step to the ball. Come on.
Mosquera putting a challenge in. Toronto have dominated possession as we near the half-hour mark. 63%. Just 2 shots compared to 3 for the Red Bulls. Still so much soccer to be played, though, this afternoon at MSU Soccer Park. It swung across to the near side. Berkeley can take over after a heavy touch. Kasule pushes it along, and Rossborough pressed tightly by Italo. Back to Gutierrez, and no immediate threat pushing forward. Rossborough sprinting for that one. Always one that Abe Rodriguez was favored for, and the goalkeeper can roll it along and restart the build. Baptiste, good use of the chest to cushion that one down, making the run centrally, has to return it back. Dumitru. Fisher. A drop of the shoulder, now into the box. Ayari plays it out for Fisher. He has to run into the corner, get that one and keep it in play. Stojadinovic back to Staniland. Now it's Simmermancic. Fired into the box. Clever move there from Toronto, maybe the best bit of play they've had up to this point. It's a handball, and it's a free kick against Toronto. Players expressing their frustrations with that call, but results in the sequence ending for the visiting side. No shot coming from it, but as confident as they've looked trying to enter into the opposing penalty area. Mosquera. Rossborough able to turn that one centrally and play it to Kasule. Two in red. It's really clever there for Mosquera. Left it for Sofo. He's one-on-one. Carrying it into the box on the right foot. The low shot saved by Rodriguez. Good stop by Rodriguez. Second save on the match. Mohamed Sofo just so difficult to contain. Something to expect the goalkeeper to stop, but dealt with it nonetheless. Another chance on a corner. It's an interesting set piece routine here from Red Bulls with a lot of players spread out, probably preparing for a late sprint. Mosquera tasked with putting this one into the box. Dangerous delivery. Gutierrez was the target. He thinks he took a deflection along the way, and it did indeed. It's another corner kick. Mosquera will do it over again. Goes quick this time. The ball may have been rolling actually when it was taken, and something that has been a big focus this year at all levels of the game is just free kick, goal kick, corner kick in this instance. If the ball is not dead, not moving, it'll have to be retaken. This time Mosquera will put it inside the 18-yard box. It's again cleared away, confident clearance, and it goes back to the taker. First time Ofori into the back post. It's flicked along. Another corner to come now. 3 in quick succession for Red Bulls 2. No nonsense from Simmermancic at the back post. Just heads that one out of play. Here's Jarvis now. Goes low into the box. It sits up. It'll be rolled back to Jarvis. Into the area. Delivery was dangerous. It's cleared away though, and it's a great nutmeg. Move coming off here, and a chance for Staniland to just drive forward. And he was tugged back. It is going to be a free kick. Staniland was the full head of steam there. The referee wants a word with Jarvis afterwards. Appeared that Jarvis was booked for that tug of the shirt. Just a tactical foul as Staniland had a full head of steam, was sprinting upfield. Marcus Fisher appealing for the throw there. Let's see it again. We'll see just the slight tug there. In the end, enough to impede the run from Staniland, and not booked for the severity of the foul, but just for the tactical nature of it. Professional foul, they like to call it. This portion of the match is brought to you by Hospital for Special Surgery. Just about 10 minutes to go until we hit halftime. Kasule carries it forward. Here's Afori into the area. Italo gets ahead to it. That one's going to be just left to Rodriguez. Goalkeeper taking a commanding role in that one. And could roll it forward. Chukwu.
Sofo, go! Mosquera, go! Go! Keep going! Sofo! Sofo, stay, hey! There, leave him happy!
Something that Toronto likely prepared themselves for was the direct nature. New York trying to get some overload centrally, who crosses into the box. We saw that goal come from that. They knew they were going to be able to possess a good amount of the ball, but the turnovers could be a threat. Kasule carrying that one away from his opponents and plays it along now to Berkeley. Turned over, Toronto, numbers sprinting forward. Hassan Ayari had Batiz centrally, and it's a really good challenge from O'Connor to get a foot in there. Blocks it, allows the goalkeeper to pick it up. First year as a pro for O'Connor, coming out of Virginia. Made 31 appearances across 2 seasons. Following up on 2 years at Western Michigan. He's come in and been a mainstay in the side. Featured now in 22 matches as a starter.
Ibra, go! Come on, Sept. Come on, Ibra, go! Go! Adri! Inside Tana! Go, Ibra, keep going! Ibra, keep going! Hey, here! Hoplan, quick! One, behind it out! One! Forward!
Over the top, Batiz, the target. Gutierrez, great strength to make sure that he couldn't get there first, and Stokes supporting his center back, coming off his line. Throw in now, Red Bulls 2. Berkeley going long with this throw in. Jarvis trying to help bring that down in the attack. It's just going to be cleared forward for Toronto. Good use of the body from Ayari. Now a foot race here with O'Connor trying to get there first, and O'Connor just relentless defensively, wins that one back and plays it now to Curtis Afori, who's got a good amount of space to go into. There are some numbers forward in red. He pokes it out wide. Mosquera can't get past Daniland.
Next one! Mosquera! Second! Go Sofo! Next!
Here's Italo. Chukwu. Good work from Zimmerman Cheech to drag that one away. forward, Batiz. Trying the first time flick, doesn't quite come off. Confident header from Perlman. Sept got in there first. It's poked away from Dumitru. All the way back now to Stokes. Afori. Mehmeti. It's a free kick. Eats low. You can flash back, look at the goal that separates the two sides in the final final moments of our first 45. It was a great ball in by Omar Valencia. Just bounced free, dragged across, and Tanner Rossborough able to put that one away within the first 15 minutes of our match. That made it 1-0. Lone goal that separates the two sides. So we enter the final moments now of our first half. Good dribble forward now from Toronto. The attack now. It's played out wide. Dumitru the target. Chukwu offering himself as an option, as does Stojanovic. Sept drags back, eats low. Great ball between the lines. It's cushioned back. Some really nice interplay. Just can't quite come off the pass to Batiz. And now it's a chance for Red Bulls 2. 4 numbers forward, 4 back in defense. Putting Rossborough in a lot of space on the near side. They go far side to Sofo. Kasule in the box, the shot, it's saved and chested back to Rodriguez. Good goalkeeping and calm defensive work. Marcus Fisher under a good amount of pressure. And the match has opened up in these last few moments. Sofo puts a challenge in there, and the referee immediately to the pocket. Another tactical foul for the home side. Mohamed Sofo knew his side were a little stretched. All things considered, Sofo being booked for that, not going to be considered at the end of the world. Let's see it again, just puts a challenge in here, knows it's either ball or man, gets past, not both. The ball got past, the man did not. Before that, Sofo was booked.
Number 37, Mohamed Sofo, in the 43rd minute.
Confirmation there of Sofo's yellow card.
Come on, Sept! Come on, Sept!
Kasule, 3 with him in the attack. Rossborough, goal scorer. Trying to squeeze that one through, but Italo. Diligent defensive work.
Sofo, gotta get it switched to center there. When we find that advantage from the wide shadow. Come on. Go! Who's coming up? Sofo, come on, Sofo. Mosquera. Marco! Come on, Marco, give us something. Yes, they switched on. Behind, we have Adam for that. Adam, you get that ball. Beat it, Marco, right behind. Marco, get out, Marco.
Slid forward, Ayari. Staniland. Both players, former Sheffield United Academy option. Staniland puts this ball into the box, aiming for the back post. Dumitru can run across and try and get there. He felt he was bumped over. Looked like it would have been a little soft of a call, and I mean, Nonso and Nyakwo certainly felt that it was not enough to be free kick. Flicked along by Batiz, out now for a goal kick as we enter into 2 minutes of stoppage time at the end of our first 45 minutes. Red Bulls 2, of course, going to be the happier of the two teams if it goes into halftime with a lead. Despite being outpossessed, they've outshot their opponents 6-2, 4 shots on target for Red Bulls 2 compared to none for TFC 2, who have not tested the 16-year-old Stokes in between the pipes for the hosts. Italo, Chukwu floats one forward, and Gutierrez calmly heads it down to Berkeley. Sofo trying to get there, but Rodriguez comes right to the edge of his 18-yard box. Confident goalkeeping again from the 17-year-old. That's turned over though, Rossborough. Just a few seconds left of the stoppage time. So a chance for one last attack. It's Jarvis. This is Berkeley on the overlap. There's a glance at the watch. The referee may afford a few more moments, but not much more. Mehmedi. Ofori. Gutierrez. Clever ball forward. It's brought down. Just about enough done defensively there, and that's going to do it for our first 45 minutes. A first half that was mostly played in between the 18s. Not a ton of clear-cut opportunities for either side, but the best chance of the match fell for Tanner Rossborough, whose right-footed finish he put away for his 6th goal of the season to this point. And that means our score at the half, it's New York 1, Toronto 0. And coming up, we take another trip to the coach's corner after this timeout.
Toda mi gente lo siente, 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 toda mi gente caliente, toda mi gente lo siente. Toda mi gente suena, en la favela suena, el techo se me llena, toda mi gente lo siente.
Action.
Vamos, dale pues, vamos allá, muévete más loco como solo tú lo sabes. Así es, pon las manos en la cabeza, sacúdete, sacúdete, mira, sacúdete. Listen up, all eyes on me, I'll show you who you wanna be.
Welcome back. 1-0 between New York and Toronto as both teams are fighting to get themselves back in the playoff picture. Well, in the Western Conference, Whitecaps FC2 are looking to make the playoffs for the first time ever. Michel Montaigne caught up with their head coach, the former MLS great Ricardo Clark, in the latest edition of Coach's Corner.
What's up, guys? We're back for another edition of Coach's Corner, this time in Vancouver, Canada, with head coach of Whitecaps FC2, Ricardo Clark. Rico, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Second full year as the head coach of this club. What has been the biggest lesson that you learned from year number one that you've used here in year number two?
Yeah, I'd say a big lesson is just learning how to manage the second team environment in general, right? Obviously, as a coach, you're naturally turning into a leader, and then you're managing your staff, you're managing players, but within the dynamic of a second team, you're managing up and below, if you get what I say. So, so many different unpredictable factors with the second team. So with all that, you try to, get as organized as you can going into the season, but also just be ready to adapt week to week, but even day to day, right? And integration is something we've sort of tried to evolve within the club and in the second team environment. And with that becomes a lot of unpredictability, right? Yeah, I say within that, just growing in that role and growing in the development space and managing all that to make sure we're getting the most out of the players, I'd say is an area of growth for me through this year after learning from last year.
When it comes to the postseason specifically, you guys are once again kind of hovering right there around that playoff line. What did you learn from last year that you can use to change your playoff fate for this season?
Surprisingly, I think this year we've actually, I'd say, put less focus on making the postseason. I think how we approached, or at least the mindset we tried to approach this year with, especially with instilling it amongst the players, is to just focus on the day-to-day, right? Focus on the day-to-day, how you're maximizing the opportunity, whether you're with the second team, whether you're a second team player with the second team player with the first team for the day, whether you're an academy player with the second team or even first team, just making sure whatever comes about for the day, you're maximizing it, taking advantage of the opportunity and looking to become better within that moment, right, within that day. And then obviously, you progress throughout the week, and on the match day -1, the match day, then it's about in the second team environment, how are we gathering as much information as possible, then contributing it to the game to perform individually, to help the collective, right, to hopefully have a good performance, and then hopefully the result takes care of itself. I would say with that, the group has done well to sort of take on that mindset, and we found ourselves with 4 games left in the season and right in the playoff hunt. So what we've done, we've kind of corralled the group together, especially the leaders amongst the group, the more experienced players, and asked them what they want. Over these last 5 games, they said they really want to compete to make the playoffs. Okay, so we set our objectives for the end of the season. We really are taking the approach of having a playoff mindset and making the playoffs this season, and now it's about the action steps within that to hopefully make that happen for the players.
As a former player yourself, I'd imagine a lot of that mindset comes from your experience of going through match day -1, match day, having to deal with the ups and downs of the season. What do you find yourself using most from your playing days now as a coach?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things, but one thing in particular is sort of having that feeling or empathy for what the player is feeling in the moment, right? To hopefully get them to respond or to motivate them, right? I know players respond to different things, different people, but I think I try to leverage, me being in their shoes at one point, whether it's just for a match day, whether it's just for their general careers and motivating them to hopefully have a sustainable and long career. But I think, again, like I said, just being in their shoes, finding ways and methods for them to respond, to hopefully have them perform for the short term and the long term, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. You touched on the uniqueness of being the head coach of this kind of intermediary level. With that in mind, how do you define success for the club this year? I know you talked about the playoff mindset, but in general, how do you define success?
Yeah, I define success by, I would say, first of all, developing as many players as possible and helping them reach their full potential, right? With that, you know, there's objectives there, right? How many players can we prepare and develop to make sure they're ready for a first team level, right? Obviously it can get better, but I think in regards to a decent amount of players, I feel like some players have reached that level to this part of the season. Obviously only so many players can make it. So then it's, okay, if it's not here, how we prepared them for maybe another first team environment, right, elsewhere, so that, again, so they can have hopefully have a sustainable and long career to keep going about fulfilling their passion.
A long career like this guy had. For you specifically, been in Canada 4 years technically. What has been the most surprising thing to you living in a country where you never lived before joining the staff here?
Yeah, so it's another good question. I would say on the soccer side, I've learned a lot just in regards to just the environment, the Canadian environment, the player pool, especially in Vancouver, sort of trying to navigate through that environment, if you want to say, and the dynamics within that. I think we've tried to provide as many platforms, high-level platforms for these players to develop in and get challenged in, which is, like I said, a different dynamic than maybe in the US. So we want to move towards providing those opportunities for those players the best we can, right? And I think we've made strides with that. Off the pitch, I would say, man, I need to go on more hikes, right? Vancouver is a beautiful place. You know, there's so much to do outdoors, especially in the summertime. Beautiful climate, beautiful scenery, and it's definitely on my bucket list to really go on a proper hike. I just haven't made the time yet, but everybody gives me crap for not getting out as much as I should. But food is great, great cafes, great restaurants, great people. So, you know, my family has adapted, my kids have adapted, coming from Houston, Texas, right? So they're bought into, you know, Dad, we go over wherever Dad wants you know, so he can fulfill his passion and his dream and his job, right? So
that's awesome. How does it feel to have that support?
Yeah, it feels awesome. It feels awesome. They're sort of used to it, if I want to say, through my playing career and now my coaching career. So I'm happy to have that support and adaptability that the family is able to provide.
Well, we're happy to have you in this league. Rico, thank you so much for the time today.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
That does it for this edition of Coach's Corner. Best of luck to the Whitecaps FC2 as they try to make it to the playoffs this year.
Toda mi gente lo siente. 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 Toda mi gente caliente. Toda mi gente lo siente. Toda mi gente suena. En la fadera suena. El techo se me llena. Toda mi gente lo siente.
Action.
All right, MLS store, I need something fresh and clean. Let's see what you got. I need that in my size. cream on cream. The fit is cold. Ice cream. You like that?
Just moments away from our second 45 minutes. Some scores and upcoming matches as well. Crown Legacy, a shootout win. Impactful. They push themselves up now to 42 points on the season. Chattanooga, also a shootout win for them, going to 40 points. Important for that playoff race to look at if you're either New York or Toronto. Chicago facing off with Orlando City tomorrow night, the big game. Chicago a chance to push themselves really well and truly away from this playoff race if they can get 3 points. Orlando City as well. They're in third place with 43 points, but surprisingly, they're not entirely out of that playoff discussion entirely. Those are the upcoming games on Monday. Tuesday rounds out the match week with Atlanta United 2 facing off with Minnesota United FC 2. Atlanta already eliminated. Minnesota on the verge of elimination, but trying to stave off a late push into the playoffs in the Western Conference. We look at our first half highlights in this match between New York and Toronto. An interesting first 45 minutes between the two sides. We'll see Aiden Jarvis here swing it to the far side of the field. Omar Valencia, a great first touch and a great bit of delivery that ends up finding the back post. Copeland Berkeley, his cross takes a deflection, but it does find Tanner Rossborough, who makes no mistake about a great opportunity. Makes it 1-0. His sixth goal of the season. We saw some great footwork from Mohamed Sofo in numerous moments. Maybe this is the best of them. His shot going just wide past Abe Rodriguez in net. A chance here on the free kick. Hassan Ayari dragging it just wide. Only 2 shots in that first half for Toronto. Not a ton of opportunities for the away side to try and get themselves back into this match. And again, Sofo, that footwork, this time testing Rodriguez with a shot on target, was saved. Another chance here for Sofo. Lays it in for Kasule. His shot similarly saved by Rodriguez. Stats now 6 shots to 2. New York out shooting their opponents from Toronto. No shots on target yet. You have to imagine that's a big focus for Gianni Cimini and this Toronto side. Just try and test Aiden Stokes at the bare minimum. They've had a lot of possession in our match up to this point, possessing 62.5% of it. A lot of passing of the ball. You see that pass accuracy as well, pretty similar with what you expect from these sides. Toronto to possess the ball a bit, be methodical in possession, while Toronto, or New York rather, have their moments of patient build-up, very direct at times, just the 80% pass accuracy compared to the 87% for Toronto FC 2. Sofo and Jarvis, the 2 players booked as well. Let's look at the standings in the Eastern Conference. We talked about some of those results and upcoming matches as context. Look at that number 8 spot, Chicago Fire FC 2 with 41 points in that match in hand tomorrow night against Orlando City B. Carolina Core taking points off Columbus Crew 2, both drags the Crew into this discussion, as well as pushing Carolina right onto the heels of Chicago Fire FC 2. That means that our match here today between New York Red Bulls 2 and Toronto just that much more impactful. Not showing the live points with New York Red Bulls 2, but if they get the 3 points here today, as they are slated to do with the 1-0 lead, they would jump up to 36 points. They would sit 5 points off the playoff line with 2 games to go. They need a lot of help, but they have some important games coming up, including a season closer at Chattanooga FC, who you saw right on that playoff line as well. Players beginning to retake the field. They'll flip sides. It's a first half that is interesting to assess. It's the first few games of the season between these sides. They've met 2 times. It was a 4-3 loss at Toronto for New York Red Bulls 2 when they met in July. A 2-1 win when they played at home back in June. So there's been some goals for both sides in the previous meetings between these teams. Red Bulls 2 hold a 8 wins, 2 defeats, 3 draws record all time against Toronto FC 2. That extends to their time in the USL Championship. Second season in Next Pro for Red Bulls 2. Third for Toronto FC 2. Teams retaking the field for what should be a hotly contested second half. Toronto wouldn't be outright eliminated should they fall to defeat in the match today, but it would open up elimination scenarios we would love to avoid after the match today. Curtis Ofori playing it back. We mentioned Omar Valencia in those first half highlights. He was injured at the halfway line in our first half, just about 10 or 15 minutes into the game. Curtis Ofori coming on in his place. No subs at halftime to report. Still just Ofori, the lone injury and forced change that either side has made. I'm Jack Edwards here alongside you. Really appreciate you joining us on this Sunday afternoon. Red Bulls 2. It's been a tough run of form for them. 5 without a win, including 4 successive defeats. Not kept a clean sheet since April. Stacking up the trends against them, but we'll see if they can try and perform well today, break some of those, and continue to ask questions in this playoff hunt. Toronto, meanwhile, a really good run, including 5 points against NYCFC 2 in their last 2 games. Those coming on Wednesday as well as Sunday last week. Afori into the box. Early questions asked, and he plays it across. Chukwu just gets a foot to it to put it out of play. That's a great move by Afori down that left-hand side just to drive it across. Ask the question. Answer from Chukwu results in a corner.
First contact!
Mosquera's corner. Italo gets ahead to it. Jarvis under. Rossborough returns it to the midfielder.
Organize quick. Organize quick. Go to the ball. Hey, Paris. Bono. Bono. Paris. Come on. Mosquera. 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 Ahora. Ahora. Go. Go. Stop. Stop. Yeah. Yeah. Next. Go, Mosquera.
Ayari gets out of his feet quickly and avoids the press of Mosquera. Through the midfield, Stanleyland. Moves it along to the far side. Chukwu. Again, the left back, Stanleyland. Now Chukwu.
Step to the ball! No jogging! Go, Tanner, go!
Sofo now, full head of steam forward. Skips past Italo. That's a really ambitious challenge there from Chukwu. Gets a foot in. He felt there was a foul. He's reaching for the back of his head after coming together between him and Sofo, but referee says it was a good challenge. Nothing more. Pass doesn't come off there and goes out now for a Toronto goal kick. Big news in the midweek for Toronto. Charlie Sharp and Nathaniel Edwards, who have been big components of the side in the next pro season in 2024, both signed to MLS contracts on September 17th, offering their services now to the first team as they try and continue their professional development. Gutierrez wins the ball back. Rossborough, a bit of space for the forward. He's closed down quickly. Perlman gets a good foot in. Now Kasule. Afori.
Mosquera, para ayudar. Tenés que ayudar, Mosquera. Tenés que ayudar, después viene para ti.
Flipped into the box. O'Connor gets ahead to it, and it's hooked away.
We gotta go front and back. Those organized, front and back. Tanner, deeper, deeper, Tanner.
Shifting. Has to be quick. Inside, Mosquera. Mosquera, together. The ball. The ball. The ball. The ball.
into the box. Stokes claims. Jarvis on the turnover. Kasule squirms out, and Jarvis light on the feet. Good work from our referee to avoid blocking that pass. Now Jarvis, maybe for a moment, thought about cracking one from distance. Instead, opts for the pass to Ofori. Rossborough. It's going to be a free kick. Kasule overrunning his challenge. Jarvis and Sofo, the two players who were booked in the first half for Red Bulls 2, only players on cautions. Match that hasn't been all that hotly contested in terms of fouls. That one just the 8th against Red Bulls 2. Only 2 called against Toronto FC 2. Ibrahim Sakaya and Aiden O'Connor embracing after O'Connor did very well stepping up from defense to intercept that pass. Ofori gets past the challenge. Curtis Ofori dancing around here, clips into the box. A great ball, and it's headed home for 2. Mohamed Sofo, after a brilliant move forward and delivery into the box from the sub, Curtis Ofori, doubling the advantage for Red Bulls 2, who look well on their way to curbing a tough recent stretch. Ofori gets this one really deep, keeps it in play, gets past one challenge, dances around another, clips it into the box, and that's a fantastic header. Not much that Rodriguez can do about that one. Loses his footing a little bit, but it's put in the roof of the net. Mohamed Sofo, goal number 5 on the season. And Curtis Ofori, his 2nd assist on the campaign. 2 players linking up. Similar to the first half, an early goal for Red Bulls 2. It puts them in a really great spot to make it 2 wins from 2 at home against Toronto on the season. Toronto's 4-match unbeaten run in major jeopardy. Still so much time to be played though, as Ayari gets his head up and plays it forward. Great challenge from Stokes coming off his line. Had to get there ahead of Jesus Baptiste, and he did by a split second. It's the kind of challenge that can completely upend the match just moments after that second goal. What if Baptiste gets there first, gets past the goalkeeper, maybe scores a goal, cuts it back into a 1-goal game. Maybe Stokes doesn't get the ball, but gets Baptiste as he's sent off. But Stokes, despite just being 16 years of age, very mature, very confident in that position. Into the midfield. Oh, look pass. It's fired across. Oh, Toronto trying to pass that one into the back of the net. Simmermancic heavily involved, trying to get that one through the midfield. Toronto had a good response in the first half to going behind a goal. They possessed the ball a lot. Didn't offer a ton of opportunities on the break.
Wait, Mosquera. Wait, ya. Por ahí. Verá.
The shot blocked. Simmermancic had a crack. That's going to be a free kick, just a tactical foul there in the midfield.
It's just the shot hit him in the head.
It's going to be a pause after a few players are down for Red Bulls too after some heroic defensive efforts and trying to carry that one out of the defense. There's a chance now for a sub as well to take place for Toronto FC 2, the first of the match for them. Theo Rogopoulos comes into the game, making way Richard Chukwu. 23rd appearance this season for Rogopoulos.
Toronto FC 2 substitution in the 57th minute. Entering the match, number 92, Theo Rogopoulos. Exiting the match, number 97, Richard Chukwu.
Like for like in that left back role, Rogopoulos will come in. Gutierrez got a bit of attention. He'll have to come off for a moment after putting his body on the line to block that shot from Marcus Simmermancic. Headed back to Rodriguez. This portion of the match is brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. We're near the hour mark. Red Bulls 2, a pair of goals. Rossborough scoring in the first half. Sofo scoring this side of halftime. Turned over. A lot of numbers going forward for the Red Bulls. Swung across. Mosquera gets it out of his feet. It's a challenging pass to pull off, and it's headed away. We'll come out for a throw-in for the hosts, but you imagine it's a chance that they'll have few more times in our match as Toronto continue to commit numbers forward. If Red Bulls maintain their press, good chance for them to try and get further into the match. Audrey Mehmeti will make way now. Dylan Sullivan coming on. First change in the second half for Sakaya and New York Red Bulls 2. Sullivan, very common thread in this midfield. Very versatile option as well. He'll come on for Mehmeti, who
fans, your attention please. New York Red
part of
Bulls
that midfield 2 in the 4-4-2 shape.
60th minute, entering the match.
Sullivan got his first touch there just a moment ago with the control in the midfield.
And exiting the match, number 77, Audrey Mehmeti. Substitution occurs in the 60th minute.
Sofo is gone. Ana. Yeah. Yeah, Mosquera in. Again, man.
Perlman drags that one away from Sofo.
Ana on the right.
Rodopoulos couldn't quite get a foot on that. And it bounces past him. Throw in now for the hosts.
Hey, let's play. Play.
Forey again showing off his powerful dribbling skills. Toronto really felt that last touch to the left back, but last touch Rodopoulos according to our official. It's a corner now for Red Bulls 2. We got that insurance goal from Sofo. Puts them in a great spot to get the 3 points on the day today, but they say 2-0 is the most dangerous lead in soccer. Adding a third may just about knot the points up in the match. Rafael Mosquera. Perlman gets a thigh to it to push it along. Kasule, Forey, Mosquera now, his left-footed ball in. Rodriguez clamps. His entire body to catapult that one into play. That touch, though, a bit heavy. It's won back by the Red Bulls. Sullivan.
Organize position-wise now. Here, Tubi. Again. Open up. Nice. Open up. Hey, let it. One of the six. Yeah, jump. Good. Carlos is so funny. Watching.
Over the top. Big deflection off of Forey. It's kept in play, and it rolls back now to Stanleyland. Gutierrez. Stanleyland everywhere in this sequence. Gets back onto it and rolls it out. Rodopoulos.
A little bit higher now. Get ahí, espacio ahí. Sofo, higher, Sofo. Sofo, higher there. Ya, Mosquera dentro primero. Pares, you out, Mosquera afuera.
Into the middle. It's rolled along. Squeezes to the far post. That one overhit. Frustration there. It's a solid opportunity for Stojadinovic, but it goes out of play. Goal kick now for Red Bulls 2. This portion of the match is brought to you by your Tri-State Audi dealers. What a 3 points this could be for New York if they can pull it off. Toss them right back into the mix. They knew entering the day the loss would eliminate them from playoff contention. Strong challenge kept in play.
Open up! They'll play you, maybe.
Gutierrez back to his feet, slowly back out onto the field. Mosquera's header moves it centrally. Sofo. Great turn to get around Perlman, who does a good job as well to get back across to make sure that he couldn't sprint past him. Kasule to Mosquera, who skips past the challenge and carries it centrally. You could see what he was trying to do, and that was fine, Kasule, but it falls back to Mosquera. Big challenge in the box, had to get it right. The referee says yes, Rodopoulos got enough of the ball. Mosquera down, holding his leg.
inside and you see outside also.
Intercepted by Sullivan. Rossborough.
Who wants the ball now? Sofo, move! Pay him. Carlos, right.
Fori.
Carlos again. That's a good one. Mosquera, la línea. Go Sofo. Dembélé. Venga. Dembélé. Sofo organize. Get in there. Go for an in.
Rodriguez. Want to have shown some signs of life. That ball too strong. Kind of match where one goal could just be the bounce of confidence the visiting side need to push themselves back into the game. Pretty banged up side, and we knew entering the day no Julian Altobelli. It's a really challenging thing to go into a match without your leading scorer, especially a guy who's been as consistent as he has. 7 straight games with the goal entering today. Potentially, if he returns in the match against Chattanooga at home next time up, he can continue that streak of goals, but unavailable for this one in the match today. Gutierrez climbs highest to get ahead to it. That's a really ambitious left-footed ball, slicing across it, just couldn't quite find the path of Mosquera. He was down for quite a bit, Mosquera was, but he's back up to his feet and moving more or less okay. Good sign for New York Red Bulls too, who already lost Omar Valencia to a first-half injury. Rossborough, bit of space for the forward on the right foot. Gets under that shot. He'll want that one back. You can hardly blame the forward from finding that space and having a crack. Already got the 1 goal today. It'll be big for the confidence of the forward. 16 years of age, 6 goals in the season.
One back, the structure. The structure.
Rolled along. Rogopoulos, Afori gets there first. Scanlon gets a foot in. Rogopoulos, top of the box. Left-footed shot from Zimmerman Chichik, a big deflection, and Stokes able to claim. 4th shot of the match from Toronto, who hold 62% possession, but have been more or less kept out of this game. Poked along by Batiste. Was he fouled there? Referee says no. Rogopoulos. Standing up.
Aiden higher. Carlos inside. Organize. Go higher. Go higher.
Italo.
Go.
Rossborough gets past the challenge there. It's a big call here. It's going to be a yellow card. It's a second one of the match. The red comes out. And from bad to worst for Toronto, Adam Perlman sent off for that challenge. Rossborough gets there first. There's just the tug of the shirt. It's at the halfway line. The referee says.
The referee has issued a yellow card to number 51, Adam Coleman, in the 70th minute. This is his second yellow card and has received his
Malik Dembele will come into the match just moments after that sending off for Toronto. Rafael Mosquera making way. That just makes the task to come back even harder for Toronto. Perlman sent off for that.
Red Bulls 2, entering the match number 90, Malik Dembele. He replaces number 79, Rafael Mosquera. Substitution is made in the 71st minute.
Stanleyland moved along. Baptiste trying to just do something there to drag it back, but it's cleared away now.
Position now. Structure. Come on.
So Adam Perlman sent off. Perlman, again, just to clarify, was given a second yellow card. His first yellow card was in the 53rd minute, in the moments after the goal was scored by New York Red Bulls 2. They've been in a descent situation. It was a challenge where it asked the question of, was it the denial of a clear goal-scoring opportunity? It was certainly a yellow card at the bare minimum, just stopping the run forward from Rossborough. But the question may have been, was there a player that could support so far away from goal? Was that a red card offense? And it makes the question that much easier when Perlman's already on the yellow card, second yellow given, and now Toronto down to 10. Perlman will also serve that suspension against Chattanooga next time out. Cleared away. Zimmermancic back to Italo.
Come on. Next, got it. Okay. One. Up. There you go. Sofo, higher. Sofo, higher. Sofo, we have to step now. Go! Go! Tana, we go. Tana, higher. Tana, we go. Tana, we go. Tana, we go again. Okay. Go, Jimmy. Aiden, higher.
Free kick given. Chance now for some subs to happen for Toronto before that free kick is taken. Lucas Ogwin, Stefan Kapoor will come into the match. Marcus Zimmermancic and Charlie Stanleyland will make way.
71, Marcus Zimmermancic. Also entering the match, number 98, Tristan Fortier. He replaces number 89, Charlie Stanleyland.
Kapoor making just his second appearance, the 15-year-old center back. Maybe a sub out of necessity with the sending off of Perlman, just bringing on someone in the defense. 2 goals is still attainable. Very hard down a man. But it makes no sense to throw all sense of structure out the window in the pursuit of the match. There has to be some sense of control. Ofori going to press here, but Rogopoulos gets there first, driving in the end. He actually went too strong on the challenge after Sullivan won it back and concedes the free kick. This portion of the match is brought to you by Hospital for Special Surgery. Just about 15 minutes to go until we hit stoppage time. Red Bulls 2 would see this one out for the 3 points, even at 2-0 and even player advantage. 11 v 11. Would have felt they would want to see this match out. Big chance for a first clean sheet in quite some time. Malik Dembele carrying it forward, trying to swing it across, and it's blocked. Still 2 changes to be made should Red Bulls 2 want to make them. 2 as well for Toronto FC 2.
Hey, Theo, get up. Theo, get up. Hey, step up. Get your center backs up. Marco, up. Up. Just get high. Hey, you can do that work for us. We have to go to the center back. Dembele, go. Dembele, go. Dembele, go. Yeah, got it here. Hey.
Move there to keep that ball in play. Great challenge though from Ofori. It's been a great performance from him. Has the assist on the second goal with a delightfully played ball. Defensively, he's been quite astute as well.
Inside. Go, Brad. Come on, Sofo. Get up. Come on, Sofo. Step up.
Driven across goal. That one's just too strong. Was it kept in play? No, it wasn't. Out for a goal kick. Aiming for a Yari at the back post.
Ref, let's go. Come on.
Sullivan wins the header. Roxborough plays it down for Jarvis. Played forward. Roxborough immediately got up after going down to the ground, looking at the referee, thought he was fouled. Just 15 fouls combined between the two teams. Sullivan. Roxborough. Dembele, top of the box. Low shot, saved by Rodriguez. 4th save of the match from Abe Rodriguez.
Win it. The second.
It's a foul against Toronto. Frustrations boiling over. Questioning why there was a foul called there. Over the top. Sofo. He was offside. Free kick is given. Chance now for some more subs to take place before this free kick is taken.
Fans, your attention please. Toronto FC 2 substitution in the 79th minute. Entering the match, number 65.
Turned over. And it's Dembele sprinting towards goal, one-on-one. The chance saved. Really well done by Rodriguez to deal with that opportunity.
He replaces number 72, Mark Fisher. Substitution occurred in the 80th minute.
Matthew Catavolo coming into the match. Marcus Fisher making way.
Joseph, on the line, on the 6. There you go, back up.
15th appearance now for Catavolo.
Joseph, back
Chance
up.
now for Frank Sabufu to come in as well.
Dio, get out. Dio, get out.
Grandin coming on, going for assists. At 6'2", he'll immediately have a chance on the set piece to offer his talents.
Please. New York Red Bulls 2 substitution. Entering the match, number 97, Frank Sabufu.
Corner into the box.
Ibrahim Kasule. Substitution occurs in the 80th.
Ibrahim Kasule, the player making way.
Come on, Talent. Archie.
Get up, Vic. Get up. Get up, Vic.
Sofo. 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 Get up. No, in the 10 in the middle. That's what you say. Sofo. Good. Sofo. 10. Frank. 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 Stay.
One high, one low.
Good carry. Good carry. Frank. Sofo in there. There you go. One straight.
Eats low.
Frank.
Come on, Matthew.
Sofo there. Nana is going. Dembele.
Inside.
Ew. Adri. Sofo. Gavin, you have to see that. You are waiting.
Ogwen. First time. Forward. Ayari. Ogwen offering his option on the overlap. Can't get past O'Connor, who has been fantastic defensively today for Red Bulls too.
Stay here. Dembele tight.
Bill, come across. Step wider. Not too big.
Sofo in between. Dembele here. Sofo 10. Nana.
Right, right.
Box, marking!
Far side. It's Toronto on the attack. First attempt is blocked. Baptiste trying to play that one centrally. Again, down a man. Toronto are off the red card for Adam Perlman. Jarvis. There's a stoppage off the ball, and it's going to result in a pause in play. Looking ahead for these two teams in the upcoming two matches that are the remainder of 2024. If neither side can get to the playoffs, they'll be the final of 2024 on the season. For Red Bulls 2, next two matches against New England Revolution and then at Chattanooga. So obviously Red Bulls, if they come out of this match with the points, are going to be on a quest to get as many final two matches of the season as possible. You imagine 6 points are what they'll need. can go to as many as 42 points. Would only be 1 point clear of Chicago, who currently sit in 8th place, would need some friendly results to go their way elsewhere. But that includes the head-to-head with Chattanooga. So Chattanooga could potentially be dealt with in that one-on-one matchup, and Toronto could do them a favor. They played Chattanooga next weekend, and in that match, it'll be Chattanooga trying to chase down that playoff spot, and if Toronto are able to do their New York rivals some favors, they could potentially put New York in a spot where that head-to-head game against Chattanooga is very impactful, as well as Toronto's final match at Crown Legacy, also a side that are in that playoff spot. 42 points, they're sat in 7th place. Means that for the two teams, they will be in a lot of important head-to-head games to close out the season. A lot of implications in the final closing weeks of the year. Coming in now is Konstantinos Iliadis. Making way will be Theo Rigopoulos. It's a tough one there. Rigopoulos having to come back off after being a second-half substitute.
Fans, your attention please. Toronto FC 2 substitution. Entering the match number 87, Gustav Diop. To replace number 92, Theo Rigopoulos. Substitution is made in the 87th.
We're back underway. Just about 2.5 minutes until we hit the end of our match here today. Forey clips that one past his opponent, gets all the way to the end line, is forced to slow down, poked out of play. Here's Jarvis. On the turn, Sabufu. Here's Rossborough, scorer of the first goal. It's the winner as things stand. If it stays at 2-0, that's going to be a foul. Rossborough been very involved in this match for New York Red Bulls too. A lot of positive signs for him. His first major season in Next Pro. Made just 2 appearances back in 2023. This one being his 21st, his 13th start. 6 goals, 2 assists now. Still chasing that team lead. Rold Mitchell had a fantastic start to the year, 8 goals. He had a 4-goal match here in April against Chicago Fire too, but he had a knee injury in that match. He's ruled him out since then. We entering now to 4 minutes of added time at the end of our match this evening.
Indicated there will be a minimum of 4 minutes stoppage time in the second half.
Red Bulls 2, moments away from a first win since early August. And a chance to keep themselves alive in the playoff race. They'll need a lot to go their way. It's not in their hands any longer. Toronto won't be outright eliminated with this result. But a long road back. Dembele. Sabufu. You can hear the shouts of "Hold it, Frank." They know that the corner flag is as helpful as any third goal could be. Time the only thing stopping New York Red Bulls 2 from earning the 3 points today. They'll have a throw in as we tick past the first minute of additional time. That one's going the way now of Toronto. Sofo.
Next one. Go. Wait. Montana. Dembele, come on. France. Need you, man, in the middle. France.
Played forward, Sofo. One-on-one. Oh, just wide for Sofo. Try and get his second on the season. Would have been the icing on the cake. But Frank Sofo puts that one just wide.
I need to adjust this filter, so next replay I can do it.
Get back to the goalkeeper. We have time. The six. Aiden. Dembele. Yeah. Go for you.
Ball forward.
Put the leg there, Frank.
Taken away.
Yeah. One play.
Rolled along. Gutierrez from center back, ranging forward. May have been a cross that turned into a shot. It forces Rodriguez to parry it. It's out now. Corner to come. Let's see this move again. Gutierrez. When you're up 2-0, up a man as well, sometimes you can range forward from defense. Helps that he earns the corner in the end. They'll be in this corner. Major need to do a ton with this. That bounces off of Sofo last. And it's a throw in for Toronto.
Go front! Nice now. Go for inside. Dana, go for inside. Aiden, stay inside. Inside. Okay, Aiden, stay. We have Sofo higher. Sofo.
Sofo. Options on his left and his right. Now on a little under hit, and Eatslow can clear it away. We've had the 4 minutes, and we've had enough. New York Red Bulls 2 fights to live another day. A chance for New York Red Bulls 2. With the 3 points today, they stay in the hunt in the Eastern Conference playoffs. They avoid elimination this week, and they head now to New England Revolution 2 back at home next week. They'll have a big opportunity to continue that good form. We can look now at tonight's man of the match. A big moment early on in this game. It swung out to Omar Valencia. It'll be put in the box. Tanner Rossborough will put it away. He is tonight's Adidas man of the match, scoring his 6th goal of the season for New York Red Bulls 2. Just 16 years of age. A really impressive season he's beginning to rack up, and an important goal in the landscape of 2024 for Red Bulls 2. Pleasure to share this Sunday with you here at MSU Soccer Park. A confident performance and a first clean sheet since April for Red Bulls 2, where the score finishes New York 2, Toronto 0. Don't forget you can watch MLS NEXT Pro all season long at MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com. Have a great rest of your Sunday evening.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.